Oui. Angela, let us wait like 2 minutes to have more attendees. Angela. Angela, are you hearing me?
Yes, I was mute. Now I hear you well.
I think we can start and the other participant will come after.
Okay, so can those in the room now introduce themselves? I want to know them so that I know people I'm speaking to. And
Let
if
us give,
you can
let
also
us give him the right to talk.
and also show your image so that I can see you. Let me first show you my image. You can see me.
Yes. I can see
So
you.
this is Angela you are speaking to. I can say Manuel,
And
James, and Jean-Paul.
yes,
Yes.
But James, I can't see you. Jean-Paul, I can't see you.
Hello.
yes, hello.
So I have a problem with my camera, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
There is a lady who was speaking. I can't see her. Who was she? At the beginning.
So we can start.
Okay.
So good afternoon, everyone. I'm Nyirinde Kwesterato. I'm Principal Examiner of Institute of Certified Public Accountants, and I'm moderator for today's session of taxation. So due to the response of some problem of COVID-19 issues, which is not possible to have physical classes, ICPATEC initiative to engage with experienced tutor for some papers so that tutor can provide some necessary exam tips, how to plan exam, how to manage time in the exam, and the way of tackling question. So in that way, we engage experienced one tutor in taxation called Angelo Musingus, who is experienced person in taxation, both practice and proven. So Angelo, floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Strato. As you said, my name is Angela Msings. I teach taxation. I examine taxation. I've been examining taxation since the beginning of the institute. When they started offering examinations, I've been handling taxes. I also worked in RRA. I still work in KPMG in tax. I'm the senior manager for tax. I also participated in drafting that book you are reading for taxation. I also reviewed and examined the exams we are going to sit for. I'm the one who set them with the group of people for EPP. So already I know the exams they're going to ask you, but I cannot tell you, of course. So I think you are on the right hand, and you are with the right person now. So those who have not attended, I am very sure they will miss so much, because what I want to tell you today are tips on how to pass this paper and you get 100%. It is not a simple paper because the way it is designed is to trick you so that you fail. But if you have read intensively, then you will pass with no problem. So maybe let me give you the floor and you also introduce yourself. You tell me who you are, where you work from, if you're working, if you're not working, what do you do in your daily life? And then also you put up your camera, I see you. And also you tell me at least 3 expectations from this session. What do you expect from me today? So I start with Emmanuel, then Gaetan, then James, then Jean-Paul. Whoever is ready can start. We are free. This is a free session. So just feel free to interact with me and, become friendly. Ngawonziza, are you ready?
Yes, Good afternoon, sir.
You have to show me a picture. I want to see you.
It looks like my. It looks like my video is not coming through.
Okay.
Hold on, let me see. Oh.
It's okay. Go ahead. If it can't come through, go ahead. The photo is
It's not coming through. Yes, my name is Gaitanga Mzee and I work in academics and I'm a hospitality professional. So I've worked in the hospitality industry and I've worked in the finance department being a cost controller. So I was very much interested in doing a CPA because, of course, as a cost controller, I felt that I needed more skills in the finance and the tax laws, so that I can get involved in the future with hotel consultancies. And so that's how I ended up doing CPA. So it is a pleasure to be here, and I'm here for this session especially because I really wanted to get some tips on what to focus on, so that I can pass through this exam. And since you have said that you are part of the team that is set up the exam, I'm sure, of course, I'm in good hands that you will provide with us the key points and the guides on how to prepare and how to pass it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I think the world has become a global village. I remember when I was doing my STCA, that's about 2005. We used to go to Kampala.
Yes.
We used to fly from UK to come to Kampala, because Kampala there were very many people, to meet students, and he was examiner so that he can give them tips. So we could drive up to Kampala just to see examiner. You know, imagine when you see examiner, it's as if you have passed.
Yeah, it's one way of passing, of course.
So, but for you, you are lucky you are seeing me here, only that I'm not a Mzungu, I'm black. So anyway, so you want some tips and you will get them.
Yeah, my video, my picture, you can see it now.
Where is it? I can't, I haven't, I can't see the photo. Maybe it will come.
Maybe.
Okay, let's, for the sake of time, let's go to the next poll. Jean-Paul, you are muted.
Thank you very much. I have a problem with my camera, as I said. You will not be able to see me. So I'm working for Rhoda in finance as a financial management specialist.
What is Rhoda?
Rhoda, it is a government institution which is working under Minarok. It is working with district development. So we are financing district project.
For example?
What, like building roads, building hospitals.
Okay.
So what we do is like mobilizing funds from donors, then go down to district to finance their project through the national budget with Minecofin.
Sorry, you mobilize donors and yet you are government.
Yeah, it is a government. It is a government institution,
Okay.
and the aim is to mobilize funds from donors. Then, after getting those funds, we allocate them to district on different
I thought
projects.
I thought our budget for the government is structured under 3 items, especially one is the domestic resources, which is taxes.
Yeah.
2 is grants
Yes.
and donations, and 3 is borrowing.
Yeah.
So that's
So
the national budget. So when you bring that money, for example, from outside, where do you put it?
From outside, it is sometimes they are grants. There are some organizations who gave us grants, like DFID, like KFW, like Netherlands, and the other gave us loan, like World Bank. I think this time we have only World Bank on those side of Rome.
Okay,
So
that's okay. I will look for you. I will look for you, and we chat offside.
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
Okay, thank you, Jean Paul. So you are so why are you interested in these things of taxes, accounting, and so on, and yet
So as I have to pass this exam, I thought that this session will help to get most important party on which to focus on, because we still have like a few days, and most of the time we do not have sufficient time to read the whole syllabus. So I think with this session, I will get some important party or tips to pass this exam, and trying also to use the minimum time that we have with the syllabus, which is somehow big. So in a few words, we need tips to pass this exam in a few days that we still have.
when are you sitting for this paper, by the way?
Sorry?
When are you sitting for exam? Surato, when is the exam date?
It's
It
on the
is on the
30th.
30th.
Isn't what?
30th, this November.
Oh, next week.
No,
Yeah,
it's 30th. No, 30th.
Sorry?
30.
30th. Okay.
30th.
Oh, it's not very far. Then let's go to the next, Mucho James. You are muted, Mucho.
Hello.
Yes,
Hello?
Emmanuel.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Yes. I'm called Hemuka Emmanuel. I'm the accountant of Gihundwe District Hospital in Rusizi District, and I'm undertaking stage 3 in CAT. I'm very happy to attend this webinar so that I wish you to help us to success this stage. And you see that due to COVID pandemic, we didn't get opportunity to sit for training. Reason why we would like you to do all your best to help us so that we will succeed taxation. Under your support, we think that we will get it.
Okay. That's good, but you see, and taxation is a very huge topic. So I hope you, of course, Corona was bad, but I think it gave you enough time to read on your own. So you should have covered a very big size of the syllabus, because this taxation covers, actually, even examiners are instructed to cover more than 80% of the whole. So it's not picking from one chapter. Okay, so you must read and read and read. But me, in the 3 hours we have today, is just quickly guide you. The rest will be with you to read and read and read. Eric, how are you?
I'm very good, sir.
Can you put up your photo?
Yes.
Do you know why people don't put up photos? Because I have experience. Either they are in their bedrooms sleeping.
Why not?
Others, others, especially the ladies, their hair is not well done, So they fear to put up photos so that they cannot be seen. You, the silvertails.
Yes, I'm trying to see how I can put my photo.
It's okay if you can't, then you just go ahead. But because we normally meet now on these webinars, I know people don't put up their photos because some of them they have not washed their faces. Okay, introduce yourself just and we continue.
Yes, my name is Eric Manirakiza. So I saw this opportunity for a taxation review, but I'm doing CPA. So I saw this opportunity and I thought to join because I think the syllabus is almost the same as that one of CAT. So that is why I said, let me join and get the knowledge, and I think this will be helpful to me. So I'm happy that ICPAR has organized the revision, and I'm happy to be here now.
Very good. So then Gilbert.
Good afternoon, Mr. Angelo.
Good afternoon, Mucho. Mucho, who's speaking? James, you are muted.
Yeah, this is Mucho speaking.
Yes.
I'm working from Rwanda Military Hospital as an internal auditor.
You are my client.
Yes, and
We can't hear you.
okay, and yes, okay, just I catch you well. And also, just I'm graduating from Rwanda University of Rwanda as a data scientist very soon, and I have not got time to revise as much as possible in this program because I was just writing my thesis, which I will defend by next Friday. I'm just yeah, thank you. I'm doing I'm attending this course while just I'm in CP in SPIA in intermediate in advanced level, but since I want to grasp much as possible, I decided that in every opportunity that I got from ICPAR, just when a webinar is hosted, I will need to attend. But possibly what I really need from you most is that even though I'm in advanced level in CPA, just I always pass, but really, I really not really catch well the structure of ICPAR examination because I sometimes revise SCCA materials and to the extent that I can come and CPA and pass, but the structure of questions in InkPad always just make me stranger in the exam so that I pass at the pass mark 50, 52, 51, 55, where possible 60, but I really want your tip on how to succeed confidently in CPA examination settings.
That's okay. By the way, when you are reading these things, you shouldn't only read for passing, but also for practice. Because jobs you're doing outside here, you need to practice taxation, you need to advise clients, you need to interact with Rwanda Revenue Authority officials. So you must understand and confidently sit with them and challenge them. So I will try my best. Theobald?
Yes. I'm called the Theobald Nzaramba. I'm account.
You are mute, Theo. Click and unmute.
Yes.
Yes, now we can hear you.
I'm called the Theobald Nzaramba. I'm accountant at Gihundwe District Hospital. So now I joined this course because I'm in stage 3. I wanted to understand very well what about taxation.
Okay. Good. So I have had you. Now I know you. You are my friends. So let us start.
Yeah.
I will not project. I will just pass through you the structure first. And then after the structure of exams, I will immediately start giving you the tips that you are looking for. And then I expect you to ask me as many questions as you can so that you understand very well this paper. This paper, it has got 3 hours. And the examination has 3 sections. Section A is compulsory multiple choice questions, and section and each question has 2 marks. So in total, you will answer what we call objective questions, but we call them multiple choice questions. You will answer 10 of them and you get 20 marks. Then section B, it has got 2 questions which are compulsory. And each question takes 10 marks. And then question 3, section C, has got 3 questions which are also compulsory, and each question takes 20 marks. Total, it is 100. Basically, all questions are compulsory. So now muzabihungira byose biri compulsory. Now, for multiple, okay, before I leave here, you can hear me? Surato, you can hear me?
Yes, yes, we are hearing you.
Okay, because I don't want to speak to myself, I want to speak to you.
Okay.
Let me also remove my camera. What you should know here, the tip I can give you here in this structure of questions is that where these exams, why Theobald, you are getting 50%, it's because sinzi ukuntu nabyita muri examinations, ariko hari igihe umuntu abanza guhuzagurikwa. You understand? Ugasanga umuntu yagitangiye guhuzagurikwa, yagize ubwoba, atangiye section C, avuyeyo afashe question arayihanagura, arayisibutse, atangiye indi, you know. But now these questions are compulsory. So what you should pay attention mostly is section C of 60 marks, because each question has got 20 marks. So you should maximize on section C, and at least each question you get 15 out of 20. Then automatically you will pass very well, smoothly. So the multiple questions are very difficult. And most students tend to spend more. You see, now it's 20 marks, but you can spend 1.5 hours or 2 hours on these multiple questions if you are not careful. Because you will read and answers may look similar. So the nibiza ubigumaho cyane ukibagirwa gukora section C ifite amanota menshi na section 2B. Murabyumva? Theobald. Ndashaka tuvugane, muranyumva?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so aho naho students bagira ibibazo ugasanga kenshi yasomye binarabizi ariko n'amasaha aramufashe kubera guhuzagurikwa, atangira ajya muri multiple choice questions are always difficult, and people think they are very simple but they are very difficult, and they can confuse you and you take more time and forget to concentrate on sections which has more marks. Multiple questions rero, I will just give you areas where they come from, and let me give you example of a multiple question which can confuse you, and we answer it together, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, let me try to see whether I can project this. Just give me some few minutes. Okay. So you can see?
Yes.
Yes.
Now, this is a typical, these are, for example, the two questions which you might come across. For example, can you read question 1.1? Who can read for us?
Which one of the following type of employment income are taxable?
Go ahead. Continue.
A. Employer contributions to the public institution in charge of social security. B. Payment made to non-resident working in Rwanda for an American employer. C. Payment in line of leave. D. Pension payment from a qualifying pension fund.
So, what do you think is the answer? And now I'm asking, like, say, Theobald or James.
C.
Why?
It will be the right answer.
C.
Yes.
Why?
Because it seems to be related to what employee earns when he's at work.
Okay. How about the payments made non-residents working in Rwanda for an American employer? Why not that?
Because non-resident who working for a non-resident employer are not taxable.
No, that's not the reason. The reason is payment made to non-residents working in Rwanda for an American employer.
They are not both Rwandans.
Okay. Now, question 1.2, who can read for us?
I can read, sir.
Mm-hmm.
1.2, which of the following statements are true in relation to employment income? The provision by your employer of furnished accommodation is taxable, but an accommodation allowance is not. 2. Payments made by a non-Rwandan employer to a Rwandan resident employee are taxable, but a non-Rwandan resident employee are not. Eh?
Go ahead.
One is true, 2 is false. 2 is false, 1 is false. Both are true, both are false.
So what is the answer?
B.
Why? Explain. 2 is true.
Yes.
I tax you. Do you agree with him, all of you?
Yes. B
is true.
is true.
Okay. So let me, why I'm showing you this is when you are doing these questions, the examiner may try to bring, like, you see how they're asking question 1.2, that A, 1 is true, 2 is false. So you have to have covered a wide range of reading to understand these accommodation, how they are taxed, these allowances, these non-taxable residents, so that you understand them very well. And you just don't cram, because when you cram, just a small sentence can mislead you. Okay? So let me just give you some other examples of questions which how they ask them. Just give me a minute. I want to be careful so that I don't give you the exams themselves. Hmm?
We will not know that they are exams.
I want to look for a good question where you need to but you have all these in your books, eh?
Yes, we have it in our books.
So you have revised. These are the questions that we set in during when I was reviewing this, but they are very carefully thought about, and they can confuse you. Let me look for another area on multiple choice questions. And you know, when you get out of examinations of multiple choice questions, it's as if you have passed everything. Only that you can get out and now you find things have changed. Okay. So you can see this now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, read it.
1.5.
Read.
Okay. Which two of the following would not normally be considered permanent establishment of an overseas company operating in Rwanda? A gold mine, an agent employed by overseas company and authorized to conclude contract on behalf of the overseas company, a distribution warehouse, an independent general commission agent generating business for the overseas company. Answers: A and 2, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 3, 2 and 4.
So what is the answer? Do you know a permanent establishment?
Yes.
What is a permanent establishment?
A permanent establishment is someone who spends over 183 days in a taxable period in Rwanda, or one who owns a distribution warehouse, or where and what is an office or an agent who handle his task on behalf of an overseas company, or where someone is just operating a mine, a quarry. Somewhere.
So, are you reading it from the textbook or you are just discussing?
I'm not just reading from the book because
Who can open that book and read for us a permanent establishment? Because this is a very key topic and you will be meeting it wherever you go. Even me now, when I'm discussing with my clients who want to open up companies in Rwanda, the first question they ask me is about permanent establishment. So you should, it is practical and examinable. So who has a book and can read for us that? Or I show you from here.
Yes, yeah, I have.
Okay, read for us. What's a PE? PE means permanent establishment.
Permanent establishment. Definition.
Yes.
Permanent establishment is defined in Article 5 of the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development Model Convention in 2017 as a fixed place of business through which the business of an enterprise is worth or partially carried on. In particular, these include a place of management, a branch, an office, a factory.
No, go slowly. This includes one?
One, a branch.
Okay. Stop. Do you have that one in this 1, 2, 3, 4? 2?
An agent employed by
Go ahead, continue.
an office,
3,
a factory,
4.
a workshop,
Continue.
a mine, an oil or gas well.
So yeah, so a mine you have seen, we have it. A good mine, we have it here. Number 1, eh?
Number 1. A quarry or any other place of extraction of natural resources.
Okay, stop from there. Now, the tip I'm giving you here, we agree that number 1 is the PE.
Yes, it is.
Now, if we are doing the other questions, A, B, C, D, so there is what we call elimination method. Do you know elimination method?
Yes.
Yes, we know.
So you can start now, for example, since we know that number 1 is there, B and D are off, isn't it?
Yes.
You get me?
And
Now,
A and C is inside A and C.
now you find between A and what?
And C
So what could be the answer between A and C?
is C.
C.
Sorry?
The answer could be C.
Is the C?
So the answer you are saying is one which reads a mine gold, a gold mine, and then 3, which is
Distribution
a distribution
warehouse.
warehouse. Ah, you guys, the commands and the answers and mutambeshe. Okay. So, but what I'm trying to tell you is elimination method. It helps you to go, you know. And you know, these questions will be having multiple of this kind of arrangement. So you will struggle to have them few complete, but there are not many 10. If you have read, then you'll be able to catch up very quickly and you finish. Some of them will involve calculations. Okay. You will need to do some calculations. Good. Any question about multiple choice questions? I don't want to stay much. Ask me as many questions as you can.
For me, I don't have any question about multiple choice questions because they don't form part of my advanced level, but I will just be focusing on where section C starts.
So as a tip, another thing, those who are going to do this paper, how many are going to do this paper on this forum?
I'm in.
Only one. So you should read much about double taxation agreements. Okay.
Okay.
There are some questions on payee, especially on let me see, on resident, how tax resident employees. You should read much about taxable employment income and exempt employment income. You should read much about other things to do with depreciation. Should know rates, how they depreciate things, the computers, the land. They may trick you and say land is depreciated, and you say yes. You talk about the patent rights, how are they depreciated, the telecom masts, and so on. Then you also read about the withholding tax. Okay. You read much about how to adjust trading profits. Okay. Some of the disallowed expenses and so on, but they will come in multiple choice questions, very simple ones. The dividend, treatment of dividends, and so forth and so on. So when you do that, at least you will get all the multiple choice questions correct. Permanent establishments, exempt employment income, taxable employment income, the benefits in kind, the depreciation, the losses carried forward, the deadlines for filing taxes. So you should have those on your tips. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. So once you read those, and you will get it correct in multiple choice questions. Good. Any other question?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Ask.
as I wrote it in chat box, I want to understand very well. An income received by a resident from a non-resident employer. An income received by a non-resident employer from a resident employer. An income received by a non-resident from another non-resident. Which one is taxable among these?
Okay. Let's start with one. Income received by a resident employee.
Resident employee from a non-resident employer.
Okay. Now here it's like I am having a job. I work with KPMG, so I'm a resident employee, isn't it?
Yes.
At the same time, I may get to a chiraka from say Kenya, and they also pay me. You get me?
Yes, I get it.
So ayo mafaranga bazatakisa mu Rwanda rero nayo na aninze mu Rwanda gusa. Ayavuye kuri non-resident employer who is now in Kenya ntabwo tax. That's one. Then two, you said
income received by a non-resident in Rwanda from a resident employer.
Very good. So no kuvuga yuko hari a non-resident no muntu uba
waje gutera ikiraka mu Rwanda.
Yaje gutera ikiraka hano cyangwa yaje gukora hano. Yandikishije ntabwo ari muri case sociale, ntabwo ari mu Rwanda revenue, ariko bamwishuye. Amafaranga arayatwaye. Icyo gihe ntabwo wamwishyuza peyi, ahubwo employer wamuhaye amafaranga niwe ari obliged kumu withholding.
Yes.
That's what we call the importation of services.
Or consultant services.
You may call it consultant importation of the service, which is tax withholding tax of 15% and reverse VAT of 18%. That means they will suffer 33% in total.
Okay.
Now, number three.
Income received by a non-resident from a non-resident employee.
Ibyo rero naho bihuriye n'u Rwanda niba
just nahise mbyumva
barirwariza iyo ngiyo. Ahubwo ikibazo gikomeye aho ngaho nanone ntaravuga kuko wakoze neza kukibaza. Ari ibintu bita capital gain tax. Do you know capital gain tax?
Yes.
What is capital gain tax and how is it taxed?
Capital gain tax.
Advanced ikibazo muzahura nacho. What is it?
Capital gain tax ni tax umuntu ashobora kwishyura mu gihe yaturutse kuri investment ashobora kuba yarakoze mu migabane cyangwa n'ahandi.
Very good. So when we say migabane,
yes,
ukunguka, then you pay 5% on that migabane you have sold. Okay?
Yes, okay.
Then the question I have, hari nk'ubu ngubu tuvuge nka MTN. Okay?
Yes.
Ba nyirayo abafitemo imigabane wenda bari South Africa. Okay? Cyangwa Mauritius. None ba nyirayo bayigurishije, umuntu wa South Africa akagurisha imigabane afite muri MTN Rwanda akayigurisha umuntu wa Mauritius bamutakisa bate?
Tax 15%, I think.
Banze wumve ikibazo cyanjye neza. I am
Okay.
South African.
Yep.
I have shares in MTN of 1 million, for example.
Okay.
In South Africa, I'm not in Rwanda.
Yes.
and I have sold my shares to a Mauritian without coming to Rwanda, you understand?
Yes, I see.
So what happens? How will Rwanda get taxes?
I think
For clarification, you can repeat if the one who is just owning shares is in MTN in Rwanda, or is the person is in Rwanda who owns shares, or is just MTN in Rwanda, or is the one of South Africa?
I'm saying the investors in Rwanda, the investors of MTN,
Yes.
they are outside Rwanda.
Okay.
And from there, they agree, they sell their shares to one another. They are in their own countries.
Yes.
But MTN remains here.
Yes.
If MTN was owned by Mauritius, now it will be owned by South African, for example. But it has not happened in Rwanda because they are all non-residents.
Yes.
How will Rwanda benefit taxes?
Okay. MTN Rwanda just we hold and pay the capital gain tax of 15%.
Will hold from who? And how will it know?
It's somehow a challenge, but I think MTN can withhold.
So those are the tax advisors now need to know.
Yes.
Because ideally, when a shareholder changes, then they have also to change the share register and even at RDB. RDB to bring on board the new shareholder, okay?
Yes.
And the RRA has designed the form that will capture the transaction here in Rwanda, that you are no longer the shareholder here, you sold it, so tell us how much do you sell it and tax it. You get it?
Okay. Wow.
Initially, it was a problem, but now RRA has captured it because you have to change your shareholding from RDB to indicate the new shareholder has come on board, and therefore you fill a form and they ask you questions.
Much appreciation.
That's for advanced level. You will meet this question because it's very important. It's very good. So
very much appreciation to you.
So the two compulsory questions, let us discuss now the two compulsory questions. One, for those who will sit for this paper, there will be maybe a question on how to adjust income. Do you know adjusting income?
No.
They may give you a profit and loss account. You say gross profit, you remove expenses, wages, salaries, rent, repair, motor vehicle, depreciation, you get it?
Yes.
Yes. And then you get your net profit. Then, of course, they give you figures and notes. Then they give you notes. In those notes, that's why we pay attention, because there will be things which will not be allowable. So if they say, for example, if they give an expenditure code, for example, repair and maintenance of motor vehicle, find in the notes that someone repaired his own car, which is not related to business, then you will disallow that. You are just income. You get it?
Yes.
So ideally, they give you that structure of income, they give you figures, then down they give you notes. You must pay attention to the notes. Tell Bart, you must pay attention to the notes, and you adjust those notes and figures accordingly, because you should know Article 26 and 25 of income tax law, if I'm right, about allowable and disallowable expenses. Do you know the disallowable and allowable expenses very well?
Yes, we know.
which expense is allowed and which expense is not?
Expense related to business are allowed, and those that are partly related, they are charged differently. And those that are not are related to business are just added back.
So which expense is not related to business? Give example.
For example, I can say.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
During COVID, companies have contributed money to government to buy, to assist, you know, you are aware of that, isn't it?
Yes.
So those companies which have contributed that money, is that expense allowable or disallowable?
There are circumstances when considering social corporate responsibility, we can sometimes tie that expense over there and net there, but also maybe it will depend on the magnitude of the expense.
I'm asking you a question. The answer is yes or no. Is contribution to COVID fund an allowable expense or not?
Not.
It's not allowed.
It's not part of business.
You see, in tax, we don't want to behave like those people working at RRA. You just say, according to law, this is not allowed. Okay? Now, people, for example, now in practice, what they're asking us, because we are tax advisors in this economy, let me give you an example. Equity Bank contributed 1 billion francs. Do you know that?
Yes.
So if you disallow that 1 billion, that means you tax it 30%. It will pay almost 330 million taxes, isn't it?
Yes.
It will pay that money because they will expense it. And when we are reviewing the taxes for the end of the year, we shall add it back. So what that means to pay a lot of tax, and yet it was helping government. Okay? So now what you are doing, actually myself, you know, Strato, I am the head of tax working group at the Institute of Accountants. You should also know that, by the way. I head the tax working group. So we have engaged the RRA and the private sector to give us a ruling, the Commissioner General ruling on how whether during March, when they are filing taxes, the contributions made to COVID fund will be allowed or not. So they are working on that. You get it?
Okay. Thank you very much for that question.
But according to law, it is not allowed. Unless we get a ruling from Commissioner General of RRA that since it was a special problem for COVID, then allow it, then we shall allow it. Two. So when you say allowable expenses and disallowable expenses, you must be very careful and you read to the extent that you understand. When someone says something is not in the course of the business, what do you mean? Because if I have a business, I think everything is in the course of my business. So where you should pay attention, I'm now giving you tips. You should pay attention to entertainment. Okay?
Yes.
Bad debts, capital assets, which are depreciated but not expensed. Do you know that?
Yes.
Because they will bring capital assets and you expense it and then you fade that. Then you pay attention to the other, the 20%, the one you explain, the category 2, where you cannot separate business use and private use, okay? Like communication, you should pay attention to that. Then you should pay attention to sin capitalization. Do you know sin capitalization? Yes. What is it?
It is when I think capitalization. It is when the capital is very low compared to debts, maybe. Yeah. Your own funds and the debts, the proportion of debt is very high than your own fund. Maybe.
Are you sure, or you are trying to argue?
Yeah, so let me be sure it's that way.
Where is has an alternative view?
I think just the in capitalization one, the debt shouldn't be just around 3 times your own capital.
3.
Yes. 3 over 4.
Can you 3 or 4? You must be sure that. Now, let me explain to you what it means.
Okay.
1, for still capitalization to arise, there must be rated entities. The shareholder and the company, or related parties.
Yes.
So our income tax law clearly states that when you borrow money from a related entity or a shareholder, okay,
Yes.
amount of money that you borrow ideally should not exceed 4 times your equity.
Yeah, sure.
4 times, not 3, my friend.
Okay. Yeah, 4 times.
So the excess, the interest in the excess of 4 times, if then it's disallowed. What do you say?
Yeah, sure.
Neither my capital equity at RDB registered equity is 1 million. I should not borrow in excess of 4 million. That means times 4. You get it?
Yeah, sure.
But if I borrow 10, then RRA will consider only 4 and the rest will be disallowed.
Wow.
What do you say?
We sure.
Okay. So ibyo bintu mubyiteho rero mugisome koko, and it's very clear in the law. Bishobora kuzaza ugasanga ari ikibazo. So ikindi mugomba kwiga cyane n'ibintu bya ma repair, ibintu motor vehicle, advertisement, ibintu bya staff costs. For example, if I ask you a question, if the staff of a company go to attend an event and they eat food and drink beer and also on, is this allowable?
Not.
Why?
I think, but it is not allowed because considering tax law, that expense are not allowed.
Hariya nino wamwe ngo akora mu hoteli ni Gael cyangwa ni Jean Paul?
Ijewe.
None se reka mumaze ikibazo, ukora muri hoteli hari?
Ntabwo nyikoramo, nakoraga muri Onomo.
Onomo na Howard, reka nk'urugero rwiza. Babahaga lunch?
Yes.
Is it allowed or disallowed?
I think that is not allowed because it is an expense that of which you do not get revenue.
No, if Onomo gives staff food at lunch or at any time and they eat it, maybe is it a benefit in kind?
Yes. Yes, it
for,
is.
For staff, it's a kind of incentive. But it looks like a benefit in kind because it reduces the company's profit.
Now, none say wagira ngo Onomo netabaha ibiryo kuri saa sita staff baje kurya hariya mu Gakingiro.
Nyine navuze kuri incentive kuba staff kugira ngo bamotivate ku performing. ariko kuri company ni ibyungukiramo kuko baraperforminga nubwo bwose ari expenses kuri company.
None se baraperforminga itwebwe aho nkora ngiye ku KPMG nabwo natwe twaperforminga neza.
Ariko muri hoteli nyine n'itegeko yo gukora muri hoteli ryo muri hoteli.
Ari itegeko gukora mu hoteli agomba kujya mu hoteli. We remember when tax give me that article. Because for example ndagerageza kujya mu mbere ko turi practical
Yes.
Tuzabagonga kandi nato muri practice hano biratugonga ko tugana Rwanda Revenue. Rero twebwe examiners setting exams ibyo bintu byo tushaka kujya mu tubisemo none batesho mu
Urizi Angelo wa shedding light on that issue nko kuri nta kitegeko ry'umusoro rivuga kuri specific nature ya business wenda nko ku mahoteli wamugane kubera ko ngira ntibafite specialized businesses kuba bashobora kuba barira aho ngaho.
No, ikibazo kukimeze ni mpamvu nakizanye hano. Staff relationship afite n'umukoresha we ni salary.
Yes.
Okay.
Anything that is beyond that is a benefit. Niba nkora mu ndege, niba nkora mu restaurant, niba nkora mu kabari, niba nkora muri KPMG, aho naba nkora hose nagombye ibibagombye kumpemba byose byitwa advantage, harimo n'umushahara, harimo n'ibindi bintu sibyo ndetse na medical.
Okay.
Nuko medical yo nyine itegeko rivuga ko exempt. Okay? Ariko ibindi byose biri taxable. Ariko nyine some companies ngo turimo turakora, we are pushing with Rwanda Revenue kugira ngo for hotels and restaurants babahe special exemption kubera yuko nyine nko kumuvuga nature y'akazi kugira ngo kinge nka onomo uyikinge noneho abakozi bajye kurya hanze bagaruke nyuma ya saa sita ntabwo byashoboka sibyo?
Yashoboka
cyane nka kuri lunch ni nabwo babona n'abakiriya benshi bo kusavinga. So ubu turimo turabigira ariko nyine ugurumva nka bindi bihugu tuvuye nka Uganda hari amafaranga batarenza na Kenya. Nka Kenya iyo umukozi barabara ibiryo yariye wo mu hoteli ni yarenze 14,000 by'amashiringi ibyo 150 icyo gihe arenzeho baratarawinga.
Okay.
Icya kabiri ntabwo bagomba kurya ku biryo bya guests.
N'ubusanzwe ntabwo barya ku biryo bya guests, bagira staff canteen.
Aha, ntabwo bagomba kurya guests, bagomba kurya ibishyimbo n'imikiri.
Niko bimeze.
So anyway, it's a contingent issue. We are discussing it, but I think we will succeed through the hotel associations. But currently, it's disallowable. Me, myself, I took that to the Commissioner General. We lost from my clients, and now we are pushing it from the Association of Hotels. Sports. Abakozi bajya muri sports, they are allowed.
Entertainment is allowed.
Oh yeah, sports nka gym cyangwa se bakajya kwirukanka za Nyamirambo bakajya bakarya bakama.
No, it is not allowed.
Okay. Iki nashaka kubabwira kiri controversial, shobora no kuza wenda kuri disallowable things. N'ibintu bijyanye na nabibonye entertainment, communication, personal use, ibi byose mugomba kubyitaho mukamenya kuko ntabwo ngubu technically ntabwo wapfa kuza mu vuga ati I paid airtime to staff, ako kari very straightforward, you get it?
Yes.
So examiner ashyiramo utuntu turi so specific ku buryo wabibaza ese ibi ndabitwitiga gute. So that is question That two questions which are compulsory, question imwe ishobora kuza imeze gutyo igusaba kwa adjustinga accounts bakakwaza notes ukaza adjustinga ukareba byemewe n'ibitemewe bya budgets ni kubabwira za capital allowances za repair, advertising, entertainment, sports, staff costs, vehicles n'ubundi nk'ubu sibyo. Very good. So you will be required maybe to calculate the adjusted profits after those adjustments, and then also should be aware of when the time for filing tax returns. Okay?
Yes, Mr. Angelo, hari ikibazo mfite?
Yes.
Mu buryo bw'ibibazo kwa kino gihe rimwe na rimwe muri taxation you find ba combining some issues zigiye zitandukanye. Nk'umuntu participate sometime mu ma setting. Hari uburyo buri clear ku muntu uzasettinga exam candidate ku buryo ashobora kumenya ngo iyi issue iri related kuri iyi ngiyi atari ibintu bisa naho biri tricky cyane ku buryo ushobora gusanga ikibazo kirimo ama issues atanu ariko nanone kugira ngo bibe identifiable ku mu candidate ugasanga ni ikibazo gikomeye. Byari bikunze kubaho.
Icyambere ubu ngubu all questions must come from the syllabus.
Yes.
Okay. Ushobora gusanga na syllabus mufite ubu ngubu itegeko ryahindutse nka ejo bundi. Muri gihe cya corona wenda tuvugira ibintu byahindutse ariko nyine ubwo byo ntabwo bazabibabaza. You get it?
Yes.
Barababaza ibintu biri muri syllabus mufite aho ngaho imbere yanyu. Kandi tugomba kuba kiri very clear ko kugira ngo ikizame gihite kigira reviewers.
Yes.
Abantu baricara nko bibi twateguye twarikiye turabikora. Na reviewers baravinga hari ambiguity byo vuga bose babukosora, so be very clear. Okay, that's question. Then another area where you may get under this question, which is for part B, you may find each question has 10 marks. So you may find the question A takes like 8 or 7 or 6. Question B takes like 2 or 3, something like that. So you concentrate on question A. And I advise you always first read the answer, the requirement. Get it?
Yes.
Before you read the text and those figures, first read down the requirement, what the examiner requires you to do. After reading that, then you read the text. And you should also have your watch. You divide your time. You should know that each question should take out of 3 minutes, 3 hours. You should divide your time. Me, whenever you do exams, I first look at the questions, select those I want to do, but for you, these are compulsory. Then I say, let me start with this, the quick one where I can pass well. Then those I don't understand, I will come back later. Okay? But I make sure that I cover the whole syllabus. I mean the whole question paper. Never fail to finish the entire, even if you don't know the answer, please try. Okay?
Okay.
That's when you will get 60 or 70 or 80. Otherwise, if you leave with 8 marks there hanging and you think you have passed, then you are in trouble. Possibly another area you would concentrate on now in terms of those questions which are of 10 marks, you should concentrate on how to calculate pay as you earn. Okay?
Yes.
Say sources of income, this person employed here, abona amafaranga, abona afite n'imirima y'ubuhinzi, afite n'umwarimu, afite n'akazi runaka, so bakakubwira yose none bakavuga bati mubarire amafaranga ahembwa umushahara uyu n'uyu mu mwaka. Okay? Ugomba kumenya mu mwaka, ugomba no dividing if they say monthly, divide by 12 niba ngombwa urebe ikibazo neza. Nono katotoringa, nono katanjo kabara pay as you earn. You know the formula. Do you know it? Theobald, James, do you know the formula for payee?
Yes, I know the formula for
So you will read that properly because a question of 10 marks can come from there, where they say compute Angelo's taxable pay, calculate my annual net cash income and my RSSB contributions. So you should be having those on your fingertips, okay? Three, they may bring a question of withholding tax. Of 10 marks. Non-residents, how do you withhold? You asked me some controversial questions. Let me ask you a question. If I have a gold mine or a mining company in Rusiro or in Shoronji,
yes.
I pay these casual laborers who come to mine for me every day. I pay them each 1,000. How do I? How do I tax them?
Yeah, well, I see casual laborers have a specific limit of withholding. The first 30,000 are exempted. Then the following about that they are just taxed at 15%, if I remember.
But they're not on my payroll. I don't have them. You know, a person comes one day for mining and disappears. I will never see him again.
Yeah, it will depend on the threshold of the amount she earns from you.
I said it's 1,000.
1,000 is exempted. 1,000 for one employee, for one casual laborer is exempted because it does not reach 30,000.
Now that's why the
month.
problem is now what we face.
Yes.
Is exempted when is my employee. You get casual laborer on my register. You get it?
Yes.
But this is nyakabizi yaje nazi naturutse ntabwo mfite n'indangamuntu ye. So how will I tax it?
I think it is 15%.
Very good. You withhold.
We withhold 15%.
So ubu rero dufite ikibazo ku companies cyane cyane z'ubwubatsi construction. Twagira companies ku bibazo bijyanye na hotel n'amaresitora. Uzi ko amaresitora amahoteli nayo bagura za Nyabugogo boga ibiryo ya. So tukagira questions na neza izi companies zimwe zikora ibiryo tuvugiye nk'ibigori za Minimex akahunga. Umuntu arazana ibigori biro bibiri ku igari akabiguha ugomba kumubuza holding. You get it?
Okay.
No selection y'abifaranga rimwe itegeko n'itegeko. Okay?
Please Angelo.
Yes.
Kuri urugero waruduhaye nk'umuntu uje kukugurisha ikintu. We ntago twamuwifordinga on public tender kuko nta soko twamuhaye. Uwe
twamuwifordinga ni leta.
Just wenda reka dispose nk'umuntu ukora mu kigo cya leta. Umuntu uguze ikintu ku muntu usanzwe kiri hors TVA, kiri exempted for VAT. Wamuwifordinga ukurishije ihe leta.
Banza sobanure neza ikibazo. Uri umukozi wa leta.
Yego. Kaduspose wenda
waje waguze ikintu se cyawe cyangwa ikigo leta tuje gukora muri Ministeri ya Finance cyangwa muri road.
Kaduspose ko dukora
wenda ikintu giti cyawe cyangwa kiguze nka government.
icyo kintu bagisapurayinze kuri government.
Yes.
Wenda uguze umuntu aguze ikarama arayikuzaniye mu kigo cya leta cya government.
Now, reka nkubwire rero amateka ya withholding tax. Kera ni nanjye washyizeho iri tegeko rya withholding tax ryo muri douane for example 5%. Kera muri za 1999 2000 2001 kijye nakoraga muri Rwanda Revenue. Urumva ndashaje. Noneho abantu bajyaga hanze y'igihugu bakajya nko muri misiyo akazana nk'agateleviziyo, sibyo? Undi akajyana akazana igitenge, urukweto, ibiki. Uzi ko abanyarwanda dukunda guhaha hanze cyane. Noneho akagera muri douane bakamubwira bati look, yishura imisoro akagenda atishyuye. Noneho nubwo naje atishyuye, inganda zacu zikora ibyo imyenda zigahomba n'urugero. Kuko yagomye kuba zigurira za Utex Rwanda n'izindi, ariko yahise kujya kugura ibitenge bya wax byo muri Kongo cyangwa muri Ghana. Kuko avuga ko wenda byari byiza, ariko tufite natwe ibitenge hano. So baravuga bati rero reka tubapanishinge dushireho umusoro wo kuba withholdinga umuco bajye bahaha mu gihugu, sibyo?
Yego.
Ariko none ntabwo barakomeza. So baravuga bati article 26 y'itegeko rya mbere sinzi ubu natwo what ivuga ati when you bring goods for commercial use nibwo bakuca withholding tax ya 5%, sibyo? When you bring goods for personal use ntabwo bakutax, sibyo? Now the question is, ningenda nkazana imodoka ya Dubai ari yanjye ya personal use kuki isora muri douane 5%? Now Rwanda Revenue kavuga ati ntabwo tuzi ko zayicuruza cyangwa zabi twabibwirwa n'iki yuko ari personal use
or commercial use.
Nibo zanya televiziyo iyo kurebeho mu rugo twabwirwa n'iki yuko tazayicuruza. No kuvuga yuko gomba gukora declaration at the end of the year, ariko abantu benshi ntabwo babikora. Urabyumva? Ntabwo nazana televiziyo cyangwa igitenge ngo nzaze gukora declaration end of the year. Niyo mpamvu rero withholding tax iriho kandi injiza amafaranga menshi muri leta. Ngo ngewe nakoze ubushakashatsi, hari muri mwe hari umwe uvuye kumbwira yuko ari gukora igitabo dissertation, isn't it?
Yes.
Ngewe nanatangiye kuga PhD hariya n'ubu ndacyayiga, ariko ishuri ryanjye barifunze hariya Mount Nuza Jomo Kenyatta.
Oh God.
So my thesis was on withholding tax, and the statement for my thesis was, one, we know that things are expensive in Rwanda compared to Kenya, Uganda, Congo, etc. Nuko bimeze?
Not quite sure.
No. Nk'ubu ngubu ngiye muri Congo nkagura mu icupa rya whisky narigura amafaranga make kurusha kurigura hano. Cyangwa igikombe cya Nido cyangwa ikintu hariya Gisenyi Goma birahendutse kurusha hano, sibyo?
Niko bimeze.
Yeah, probably.
Mpaka batarayifunga amaziko za bisi zajyaga i Bugande, abagore bakagenda bakarangura imyenda y'abana ibiki ibi. Ntabwo mubizi?
Niko bimeze.
Yeah.
Nose
Ko bimeze.
Cyo bajya kurangura hanze no kuko iko Rwanda babona bihenze, sibyo? So my research was, is it because of this withholding tax which people don't claim back that make goods expensive in Rwanda? Because there are other factors like transport from the coast, transport from the ocean, we are unlocked, things like that, but I wanted to specifically isolate withholding tax. So I am working on that, and I discovered that from 2010 up to 2015, Rwanda Revenue collected 26 billion from withholding tax of 5% at customs. But it had only refunded 5 billion out of 26. So my question was, why are you not refunding people's money? Because you know withholding tax of 5% is advance. When you pay it, you get it back, isn't it? But RRA is saying that, look, no, we don't know, we don't want to refund. We want to refund, but we don't know who to refund. People don't come to claim it. And do you know why people don't go to claim withholding tax? One, these are the people who are in informal sector. They don't make declarations. And two, people don't want to claim tax so that they can be audited by RRA, and they discover very many problems. So that's the story one. Then for withholding tax of 6% on public tender, it came out because government was losing money. They could give a chiraka to someone barwemeza mirimo cyo kubaka tuvuge nk'amashuri, rweza mirimo akagenda kubaka amashuri bakamwishura cyo akajyana azakora umusoro ku nyungu declaration. Urabyumva?
Yego.
Ariko baravuga ati nituca 3% 3%, wenda nene agenda kaburira yo kanaza kudiklara, twebwe nka leta zatwabonye 3% nibura musoko ngeze. You get it? So nuko rero byaje kugira ngo abantu benshi barabishuraga bakagenda bakahera yo nibagaruke. Nubiraba ariko nibura leta aragana igumana. So rero mpamvu cyo ambazaga buri kantu kose leta iguzi kose igomba kwidinga 3%, ne yabikarame imwe ne yaba hari nkano nzi ko leta isapurayinga ibinyamakuru tuvuge nka ibinyamakuru byacu babyita ngo New Times hajya iba produced by what cyangwa RBA
imvaho nshya
RBA uziko ari leta cyangwa imvaho rero bakusapurayinze ikinyamakuru mu gitondo kigura amafaranga niba ari 200 nabagomba kuzoldinga. Law is law, ibyo ntabwo nakubitindaho nuko bimeze. Ejo bundi ntabwo mwumvise ikiganiro cya Commissioner General wa Rwanda Revenue avuga ngo the first quarter babonye target ya Rwanda Revenue cyane despite COVID, cyane kubera
abakajo,
cyane kubera yuko babonye kubatsa amashuri ubaka ibikiso barwemeza benshi bishobora withholding tax na VAT. Okay? Have I answered your question?
Yes. But another one is similar to that. Someone who offering a service to a public institution.
So neza mu Kinyarwanda cyangwa tujumve neza ikibazo.
Nkuko wari umaze kubitubwira kuri tax on public tender. Umuntu none ukoze service ayikoreye ikigo cya leta, nk'urugero printer yacu yapfuye, umuntu akaza akayikorera maintenance, uwo turamufata nk'umukojo.
Uye ni supplier, yaba ari supplier muri leta. Rega nk'urugero rwo rufatika. Nk'ubu twebwe toritinga Central Bank Beneri, toritinga RSSB, toritinga Rwanda Revenue. Service watu wabahaye.
Ni service.
Bara withholding 18% na 3% mbere kutwishura.
Juste menya ruko mwe mwapiganiye isoko mukaritsinda.
Oya leta ntabwo ari ngoma kupiganwa. Numvise ikibazo cyawe. Umuntu wese wasapurayinze, umuntu wagiye gukora computer pfuye cyangwa ugiye kwakoropa akabaka withholding. You get it?
Yes, I get it.
So ubu rero babifashe nkaho nanjye imbere tuzi ko ari bapiganwe, ariko bafata muri rusange bavuye ko any government supply. You get it? Okay. But your question is ishingiro kuko natwe niko twabyumvaga public tender nyine ni tender babagisha ariko bayifashe nkaho ari supply to government. Strato.
Hello?
Strato.
Yeko?
So can we have a pause for 30 minutes and then we come back?
Okay, no problem.
Let's give, because we are supposed to finish at what time?
At
So let's have like 30 minutes and then come back. Then we because we are hungry. Eh?
okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
Mr. Jero, Mr.
Yes.
Jero, before going,
Yes.
are you giving? Will you give some tip at the end of the session of advanced taxation?
Oh yeah, I am as a Strato. I'm contracted to deal with CAT.
Yes.
Boss,
No shaka advanced taxation. No shaka advanced taxation. Ozan shaka private ngijish.
Had session ya advanced taxation.
Ariko yo ntabwo ari yanjye Strato nabumayimayi.
Azayiguhe.
None se abandi bose rega n'abandi babikora.
Bazayiguhe.
Sawa.
Okay, sawa.
Hello? I'm there.
Jean Paul, yes, is there. Emmanuel,
Yes, I'm here.
Eric. Theobald.